Over the past week and a half or so, we've seen quite a lot of tech stocks rebound very sharply, and rebounding into areas from a technical perspective that I think could offer up some overhead resistance, although we're seeing some of them already going a bit past that level of comfort from a technical perspective. But let's have a look at Meta, which I think is kind of doing exactly this. We talked about Meta in terms of its chart pattern after earnings, and this is a good follow-up to that. So if we look at Meta here in terms of its price action that it had going into earnings, it basically kind of sold off actually right before earnings, but it still worked higher within the sort of up-gapping that it did after earnings in February. So what we are left with, and again, I talked about this a week and a half ago or so, after that initial downside reaction, we now have what's called an island reversal. So that is when a stock gaps up, in this case, after earnings in February, and then gaps down, in this case, after earnings. So this price action up here is kind of left in isolation. What's now happening is we've now filled, or we are in the process of just about filling, that most recent down gap. And I think there's going to be a lot of people that are trapped up here that are going to want to get out. And so there's a lot of overhead resistance. We can doodle on this a little bit to make it fun and simple, but we can draw horizontal lines like this. We can look at the 50-period moving average above there, all sorts of things like that. So I think the path of least resistance for something like Meta, and the broader market may or may not rhyme with this, is probably going to be to the downside. And a lot of algorithmic trading is happening around that. So I would look to see also institutional investors starting to give us some real footprints on the charts to verify that once it's starting to take place, which is actually our topic this week, how we can follow some of the big institutional investors, algorithms, if you will, in the market, and how we can track their footmarks and trade along with them as opposed to against them, and then always taking our money. So make sure you sign up for that research call this week. Here's Meta. Let us know what you think in the comments down below, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for listening.